Hello guys, my name is Michael and today we are going to talk about a new widget which is called GtkEditable. So let's see about this widget information which we can get. So let's see GtkEditable, it's here. And the reference manual says description. The GtkEditable interface is an interface which will be implemented by text editing widgets such as entry and GTK spin button. Okay, so this means we will use it today on entry because we learn about entries and so on. We don't need to see this part now because it's not interested for us. So that being said, there are signals here. There are three signals: change it, delete, and insert text. We already talked about this insert text, but we didn't use its parameters when we were working with it. So we will see in the next tutorials about this editable widget, how exactly works this signal together with the other two. Another things which can see is that there are no properties here, so this means we have not so much so many things to do with it. But even if this editable has so less functions, trust me, it is a good thing to have it working together with our GtkEntry. Okay, so here's our program, or last program, which we create an entry, set a name for our CSS, and then we add it to our window. So this means it looks like this. You already know how it looks like. And now let's see. Today we are going to talk about three functions. The first one is the GtkEditable select region. The second one, the next one is the GtkEditable delete text, and then about the get chars or cars. Okay, so let's see the first function right here, what the manual says. And the manual says selects a region of text. The characters that are selected are those characters at the position from start up to but not included end position. If end position is negative, then the characters selected are those characters from start position. Okay, so that being said, we are going to call this function. And this function, as you can see, takes three parameters. The first one is the editable, and the other two are start position and end position. So let's see how this works. Okay, so the first one is editable. Okay, so GtkEditable. We need to cast our entry to editable to work. Okay, so 0 and -1 we will put at the here says if end position is negative, then the characters set are those characters from start, so to the end. So this means the way you see it here is the way how I provide it is what the manual said. So this means we can start with this thing. So I'll run the program the way it is. And you will see now, of course, it's nothing because there is no text yet. So we are going to set a text. We already know, we already learned the GtkEntry set text. You know it, so I don't have to explain you. GtkEntry, you saw it in my previous tutorials. If not, please go back and watch my last tutorials. Let's say hello world, for example. Okay, now I will run the program, and as you can see, the whole text is selected, which shows like it's working. Now let's say from 3 to 7, which means let's do something else. 4 to 7, which means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 is from here, 5, 6, 7 until here. Let's see. Nope, it's not working. I think I already mentioned before, I'm not sure, in other trial. Anyway, whatever, if I didn't, it's not working. To make it work, there are two possible things. One is to call it after you create a window. If I move it here, you will see that it works. You see, it just selected this text here. Let me change the text with something else, that just to see, to show you what's with the number. So let's say 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay, so I run the program now. I said 4 to 7, 0 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. 4 to 7 means starting with 4 until 7, which is what we wanted. As you can see, they are selected, they are there. Okay, now let's change the text back. Okay, now I will show you how you can fix it. I mean, it is somehow now important for you to know that there is a reason why it's not working. I mean, why you need to print it here, because you should use this function in a callback function better, which it will be also called after you create a widget, but it will not be called first, and I mean, it will be not called, at least not until you catch a signal which calls this function through a callback function. It's kind of complicated to explain it, but I will show you later so you will understand it. Okay, so now I will comment it out because we saw about it. Now let's move to the next function. The next function is GTKEditable delete text. Let's see what the manual says. GTKEditable delete text, I said. Okay, we'll just work with this one for a moment. It says delete a sequence of characters. The characters that are deleted are those characters at the position from start position up to the end. This says thing, if it's negative, then from start to all. So this means this function takes also the same three parameters, so we will going to call it like this, and then I will copy this part here and put it here. I will put 0 to -1, and now when I run the program, you will see that the whole text it is deleted, you see, because I said 0 to -1. If I say the same story here, like 4 to 7, then it will be deleted the characters from 4, 5 and 6, you see, hello and world, you see. So this is the way how this function works. Okay, now let's move to another function, and which is the GtkEditable get cars. Where is it? Here it is, and says the same story. It's a function, this time which returns a gchar pointer and takes 3 parameters. Says retrieve a sequence of characters. The characters that are retrieved are those characters at the position from start position up to, but not including the end position. Yes, of course, this is the part which you need to understand. If you say 4 to 7, 0 1 2 3 4, this is 4, 5 6, this is 7, it is not included. So when you put here 7, basically it will delete only this part. The same thing happens here with this function, which get those characters. So you will see now better. So it says return a gchar pointer, so we will do this gchar pointer, let's say text, and then we point this function there. We are going to copy this part here, 4 to 7, to see if I'm right, and if the manual says this thing, print, and we'll say the text is text. I will change for a second for this part to 0 to -1, so that you can see that I can print in the whole text. This is the story why is -1, because if this will be 0 here, I mean it can be 0 because this one is 0, but being here -1, it leads you to copy, I mean to retrieve all these text. So by doing now 4 to 7, like I already explained you, with delete text, as you can see, 4 to 7 is O space V. So this means 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6 because, like you already noticed, 7, we talk about it, says it's not included, but not including the end position. So just again remember, if you need to take also, I mean the 7th one, then you need to provide one more, like 8 here, for example. And now you will see that we have a W, you see. Okay, so that being said, this is about these 3 functions which we saw now, and we know how to work with them. And I will show you a way how you can fix the problem with GtkEditable select region. So for this I need to create a button, GTK widget button. We need a grid. This we're not going to talk about grids now because it's not important, but we will talk about them. So let's create a grid here, GTK grid GTK grid new. Okay, we create a grid. Now we are going to use our container here to put our grid inside the window and the entry inside the grid. And now if I run the program the way it is now, you won't see any difference. I just want to run it to show you that it's still the same program, nothing's changed. But we are going to create a button now, because we really need this button so that I can explain you the story with GtkEditable select region. Okay, so button GTK button new with label, let's say click me. Okay, now we are going to let's say let's attach the button now to our grid. So this means we have the entry here, which where is it? Sorry, here. And now we are going to attach GTK grid attach. So it takes a lot of parameters. We are not going to talk now about them because I will make another tutorials about grids, because this is a very important thing. It's a container which you really need it. Okay, so the first one is our grid, the second one is our child, our button in this example, and then we are going to create its position, which is 0, 1, 1 and 1. Okay, let's see, let me run the program the way it is. If it's there, it's there. Whatever, it doesn't look so nice. It should not look nice because the way how I'm showing this is not the way how you maybe like it. Anyway, let's create a callback. Let's say void GtkEd callback, and takes GTK editable. Oh, sorry, GTK editable entry, and then we will say GTK entry get text, for example, GTK entry get text entry, and then we're gonna move this part now here. Okay, GTK entry, we need to cast it back because I just created a editable. Okay, so we need a okay. Next thing, we need for the button a signal, G signal connect swap. Okay, and we know how the button signal works, so we need a clickhead, the clickhead signal, because we want to click the button, and then our callbacks function, which we'll call it clickhead callback. We'll throw it here, and the last one is the entry, so we are swapping the button with the entry. And then now I run the program. I made entry is using it. Okay, sorry guys, and because the signal I'm calling too early, so let me call it after we create the entry. Basically, this is important. Now watch. I use the click me and says hello world, and so on, and this happens because I said editable delete, sorry. I was talking about select region because this was the problem. I do it again. So I call this function 4 to 7. I use now click me. As you can see, the text is now selected, which means now the GtkEditable works fine after the text is there, which means even if I create something myself, for example Michael, if I said click me, it selects those characters, which means that works fine and does those things which we want to do them. Okay, so again today I introduced you GtkEditable delete text, GtkEditable get charts, and the GtkEditable select region. We saw that this function works only after we call GTK widget show all, or at least our window, and not before. So to take the benefit in the right way from this function, we said that we won't call it after we show our window. We attach to a clicker button or something, so when we click our button, basically after that happens this thing, and the GtkEditable select region is called and then applies perfectly in the way how we wanted to have it being applied. Okay, so that being said, thank you guys for watching, and until next time, please subscribe, share with your friends and neighbors, and see you guys.